Break Coffee Company helps businesses upgrade their office coffee
It's
with.
also B2B sales, and I kind of grew up in B2B sales. We have like over 90% retention rates.
Before you explore franchise options, take a few minutes to understand how you are wired. The assessment link is below. Today, we're talking about a franchise built around something nearly every business uses every day: coffee. Break Coffee Company helps businesses upgrade their office coffee experience through premium bean to cup machines, concierge service, and recurring revenue model designed for today's workplace. Joining me is Anthony Spagnola, Chief Development Officer at Oak Scale Franchise Partners. Anthony has spent more than 15 years in franchising, helping grow brands, award territories, evaluate franchise opportunities across multiple industries. What's particularly interesting is that after seeing hundreds of franchise systems, he chose to become a Break Coffee franchise owner himself. Today, we'll discuss why he made this decision, what makes this model different, and what franchise candidates should consider when evaluating the opportunity. So, welcome, Anthony.
Thanks for
Excited to
having
have
me,
you here.
Laura.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Give us a little background about yourself and your experience in the franchising world.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been in franchising well over 15 years now, maybe going on 20. I kind of lost.
Okay.
I've been on every side of the table from franchise supplier, which is where I started. I was
Okay.
selling leads and marketing solutions to franchisors. And then I moved over as an independent franchise consultant. I helped build a franchise company with some friends. I became a franchisee for that brand.
Well.
And then I got into franchise development maybe about 4 years ago. Moved out to Omaha, Nebraska, joined the team at Horsepower, learned a ton over there.
Hmm.
And then about 9 months ago, I started with Oak Scale. And we've got a portfolio of brands that we're partnered with. And Break Coffee, I just really took a liking to Break Coffee so much so, like you said, I invested myself recently.
Yeah. What about it drew you in personally?
So, a lot of franchises will talk about semi absentee, semi involved, executive ownership, GM model, whatever you want to call it. And, a lot of times that turns out to be a full time job. It's still a lot of work for the business owner. There's not a lot of franchise opportunities out there that I think are really, true side hustles. And I think Break Coffee is just that. It's a
Yeah.
true side hustle. It was built to be a side hustle. Now, don't get me wrong. You can absolutely go all in on Break Coffee and build a very nice business for yourself. But this was built to keep your day job and do it on the side. You don't have to hire anybody. You can work from home. You can do it by yourself as fast or as slow as you want. And it's a great recurring revenue model. So as you build it over time, you could kind of step back and it really does become more passive income at that point. It's also B2B sales, and I kind of grew up in B2B sales. So it kind of made sense. Also, it's a great tax write off. If you're like a high W 2 earner, this is a great way to offset your W 2 income because you get bonus depreciation on the equipment.
Hmm.
A lot of other tax advantages as well. So that was something that I really liked too. And I guess the only other part is my wife. There's always a lot of business ventures I've wanted to get into, and she kind of doesn't want anything to do with it. Once she heard coffee, she was in,
Yeah.
and it was the
Yeah.
first time my wife was interested in doing something with me, and so we're
Oh,
doing this together, which has been a lot of fun.
that's very cool. Very cool. I didn't realize that. So, walk through, I guess, the model a bit and how someone does this on the side, but also just, what services you're really doing at companies.
Sure. So it's coffee as a service. So we go into any business that has at least usually 20 people a day or so drinking coffee. That could be
Yep.
your traditional office, like a law firm or a marketing company or a hedge fund, a finance company, or it could be a retail partner, like a car dealership, a country
Yep.
club, a school, a doctor's office. We're in churches, hospitals, nonprofits. And then there's even a kind of a reseller angle with hotels, restaurants, bakeries. So there's a lot of target customers for this.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we go in and we provide this very high end equipment, a coffee machine, a little refrigerator that holds the milk. Our machines, they're bean to cup. So they grind the beans fresh for every cup of coffee. So no more plastic pods. That's a much cleaner solution. And they use fresh milk. So with one click, you have a full cafe menu. It's like having a robot barista. You can get
Yeah.
espresso, coffee, cappuccino, latte, macchiato, flat white, Americano, whatever you like with one click with freshly ground coffee and fresh milk. So we provide the equipment, we provide the freshly roasted coffee beans, and we provide a service program where we pop in every week or two to do a deep clean on the machine and make sure that they're fully stocked. So it's hassle free for the business. There's no upfront cost for the business. We don't lock anyone into long term commitments. It's month to month, cancel anytime. And even with that, we have like over 90% retention rates. Depending who you ask, anybody will tell you that. It's a very sticky service. Once our machine's in there, they almost never want to give it back.
I mean, the experience for the employees is or customers is so much better. I mean, I can't even imagine what when they're evaluating it. How does cost come into play, or what are they comparing to what they've had before?
Yeah, they kind of teach us different qualifying questions. We want to know like what they're using today is helpful to know. How many people a day are drinking coffee? That can usually give us a pretty good sense of whether or not they're going to be a good fit. If they're only, 5, 10 people in the office and they're using a Keurig machine, like it may be a little bit more of a premium service, for them.
Mhm, mhm.
But if you have 20 or more people, we're actually very competitive with Keurig or even espresso machines. Some of these Keurig pods, like the branded ones, go for like 85 cents
Yeah,
for a K cup. And then
yeah,
the espresso pods, you can pay upwards of $1.50 for those. We come in right around $1 a cup. So very
okay.
competitive price. And we do
Yeah,
per cup
yeah.
pricing where you just pay for your usage. Or we can set you up on a flat monthly subscription if you prefer.
Wow, very cool, very cool. And are there different size machines? Are they all basically the same thing, or
Yeah, so
how
we're
does it?
partnered with a company called Jura. They're based in Switzerland, and we've tested every machine on the market. These are by far the best machines out there. There's 3 different machines that we work with for different size businesses and different applications. Our most popular machine is the Jura X10. It's rated for like 100 cups a day. It's got over 30 different drink options on it, and it also does not just hot coffee, but it has cold extraction. So any of the coffee beverages I mentioned earlier,
Wow.
cappuccino, latte, you can get them cold on this machine as well, which is really cool. And then we have a bigger one for people who do much higher volume. And these machines are workhorses. If you take good care of them, they last forever. We've had some machines out there like over 10 years. I saw one in New York City recently, had been there for 7 or 8 years. It had over 50,000 cups of coffee have been through that machine. It keeps a count, kind of like an odometer. That's
Yeah.
what to
Holy
charge
cow.
people. So somebody invested probably 3 or 4 grand like 7 or 8 years ago, and they've made
Yeah.
probably over 50 grand back on that machine, and it's still going. So it's a great return on your investment. It's a great return on your time. It's pretty easy to find people to go out and clean the machines for you and service the machines for you, so that you can focus on sales and
So, yeah,
customer
my
service.
next question is, yeah, how does the sales process work? Where are you finding leads? And yeah, how's that all
Yeah,
fit
so
in?
coming into this, I just assumed everybody's like knocking down doors and, feet on the street, cold calling, prospecting. And to be honest, to date, there's been none of that, like zero. In fact, I was the first franchisee ever to go out and cold call and prospect. I went out a couple Saturdays and just went knocking on doors. I hit up some car dealerships and some country clubs, and I mean, for me, that was kind of fun. But everybody else, they run marketing programs to
Yeah.
drive leads, and they just work the leads. That's how everybody's always done it. It works. Corporate has some really great marketing programs in place. You can opt
Mm-hmm.
for whichever ones you want, and they run those programs for you and they send you leads. So for me, for example, in New Jersey, I'm getting a ton of leads right now from our email marketing program. There's a team out there that sends a whole bunch of kind of cold emails out. And then when somebody replies, it pops in my inbox and then I work the lead from there. And I've got some trials going right now from some of those leads. So they do a great job, yeah, marketing. And then you just work the lead. We always usually lead with a free trial. That's how most of our customers will say, hey, as long as we qualify them and we know they're
Yeah.
a good,
Amazing
hey,
idea.
we'll come in with the machine. We'll bring some coffee. We'll show you guys how to use it. We'll leave it there for a couple weeks and see how you like it. Over the
Who
2 weeks,
says no?
yeah, who can say no to that, right? And then over that 2 weeks, it counts how much coffee. So then we can go in with a proposal that makes sense.
Oh, it's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah. And how many machines do you typically start off?
So you start with 6 machines. Yeah, it's very easy to get started, very quick to get started with this franchise. It's not like you sign up and then you got to wait 6 months to open. This
Yeah.
you can be open within a couple weeks or a couple days, depending on the timing. We have a training once a month, every month. So once you sign your franchise fee, a franchise agreement, you pay your fee, you can come to that next available training, even if it's next week. You can, or we can get you in for that training, and you can be up and running the following week, just as long as it takes you to get some machines and come to training. So you pay your franchise fee, you buy 6 machines, little marketing budget, little working capital, and you're ready to rock and roll.
Wow, wow. And how many franchisees and who has the most number of units so far?
Yeah, so we kind of a crazy history here. This started back in Australia in like 2003. It was called Espresso Delight. It was very popular, very successful franchise. They came out to the states right before COVID, so we launched like 7 or 8 franchisees leading up to COVID, and then COVID kind of shut things down for a while.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, they all had their day jobs. This was a side hustle for them, and
Yeah.
like practically no overhead, whatever they were paying for, they stopped paying for. So they didn't lose any money. They just kind of waited out the storm and then they started placing machines again. We took that time to revamp the model and rebrand into Break Coffee and really focused on getting those franchisees, back out there. Just recently, we started refranchising. I would say probably 6 months ago, like we've had maybe 4 or 5 discovery days, if that. And man, so we signed North Dakota, Nashville, Portland, Oregon, Raleigh, Durham, San Antonio. We just last week signed Jacksonville. This week we signed Denver. We're about to sign Dallas, Fort Worth, and Atlanta. So we are rocking and rolling. I think this brand
Yeah.
is about to blow up. So I lost.
North Dakota. You don't hear that every day, and that's one of your first franchisees. Holy cow.
Yeah, kind of random, but hey,
Yeah.
people drink coffee everywhere, and
Yes, they
probably a
do.
lot less competition up there too. He said when he came and tried the coffee, he said it was the best coffee he ever had in his life. He must have drank. I've never seen anyone drink that much coffee in a day.
I can enjoy a good cup of coffee, so that's yeah, I can appreciate that. And, so how much time would you recommend someone spend in the business? And if they want to eventually get away from a full-time job, is this a path that can lead them to that?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, a lot of our franchisees that started off as a side hustle have since quit their jobs and gone all in on the business, which is the dream for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier, like how many machines people have and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
So our top performer, he started as a side hustle. He had some other businesses he was involved with. I think another franchise also. And but he's since gone all in on the business full time. He's up to so he's in the item 19 as the top performer. He's in New York City. He ended the year with 67 machines. 2025. He ended with 67 machines. That was just over half a million in sales, 260K net operating income. That was a 52% net margin. And he's up to, I just saw him the other day, he's up to 90 something machines already this year. He thinks he's going to hit 100 by the end of the summer. Yeah. So this could get really big, really fast. For some people, it might just be, 15 machines, maybe 25 machines until, they can kind of bridge out of their corporate job and go all in. But in the beginning, you put in as much time as you can. If it's,
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 hours a week, whatever you can. I would say you have to be able to carve out some time Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It's not
Yeah.
something you can just do nights and weekends because most of our target customers are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, the traditional office. So you got to be able to take, a couple hours here, a few hours there, half a day here, I think is important. If you have any sales experience or business to business like network, I mean, I think this is a no brainer, if
Yeah.
you're comfortable talking to people. But there is an aspect too where you order the machines, you got to unbox it, you got to set it up, program it, put it in your car, drive it down, show them how to use
Mhm.
it. Machine probably weighs 30, 35 pounds, nothing crazy. But
Mhm.
personally, I love getting out of the house and getting away from the screen and talking to
Yeah.
people. It's the best
Yeah.
part of my day. But yeah, I always just like to make that clear because some people think work from home, they're just going to sit in front of a desk. You're going to be out.
Right. Who are who are you typically speaking to, or does it vary? The CFO, HR person, CEO, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, so I've only been at it a couple months personally, and it's been a wide range. It really depends on the type of business and the size of the business. But I can tell you,
Yeah.
Break Coffee Corporate has a whole list of like target customers and who the decision maker is for each of those different types of businesses or decision makers.
Yeah.
So we kind of have a pretty good idea going into a business, like, who to ask for. And yeah, it could be the owner of the business, it could be the office manager.
Yeah. So,
You
yeah.
know, yeah, really depends.
I would think in some way, because I mean, I remember when I worked in New York City, and it was whoever got on the office first is the one that had to flip and start all the coffee. And then there were times where the mess, and the fights on who's cleaning it up. That is kind of a nice, this is all just done for you, and pretty much at a, like you said, an economical. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with what those things cost. So
Yeah, we try
a
to
bucket,
make it hassle free. We don't want you to have to ever order coffee. We don't want you to even have to reach out to us to say, "Hey, I need more coffee." We want to make sure you always have plenty of coffee. The machine's
yeah,
clean, working, and the machine self cleans throughout the day, so it is a really clean solution. It looks really nice, and people are blown away when they see like one click can get you, you
yeah,
know, a
and
cappuccino
it
better than you've had it.
keeps your employees there. I would think their productivity would, if it's
Well,
really good coffee.
the whole thing is if you don't have good coffee in the office, what happens? They're gonna leave to go to Starbucks or go to their local
Yeah,
coffee shop, and there is a lot of businesses losing productivity. They're losing money because people are doing that regularly. When you have a machine like ours in your office, you don't need to leave the office. The cafe kinda
yeah,
comes to you, so it keeps butts in the seats, it keeps employees happy, productive. It's great to impress your clients if you have clients, or patients or
yeah.
customers coming in.
No, good point. I've been to an office where there was something, I don't know if it's something very similar, and I mean, we were all just standing around it and everybody getting our own cups, and yeah, I
Yeah,
think the
it's a
Disney.
culture thing too, like a better brand
Yeah, yeah,
culture.
yeah. No, it's incredible. So so are you talking to all different types of people that might be investors or are truly looking for that side hustle, which I'm glad we talked because that, really helps. I'm talking to people every day that are looking for something like that.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I think most people are coming in as a side hustle, keeping their day jobs. We have had a couple that are coming in with some serious capital and looking to go all in on this thing. So we're excited,
Mhm,
to see what
mhm.
that looks like. For us, we just want to make sure at a minimum, every franchisee is placing one machine a month. I think most of us, our goal is to do at
Okay.
least two a month, maybe
Okay.
more if you're going all in. But again, we send you some pretty good leads. So you're really just working the leads. I think, we definitely encourage you to go out and get involved in your community. And if there's a local chamber of commerce or BNI group or anything like that, you can partner with local office furniture companies. We get a lot of referrals from, or property management companies. You can get a lot of referrals from. So it's good.
Really?
Yeah, it's good to go out and build those partnerships.
That is excellent. So in terms of, during the day, do you carve specific times or that you're following up on these leads, or I guess everybody's day is a little different on.
Yeah, everybody's different. Yeah, I find like, yeah, I like to block, couple 2 hours or 3 hours here and there, just so you have enough time to really, you know,
Yeah.
get stuff done or a half a day, when I can. So I think it's important to have that flexibility with your day job. But these
If
leads that are coming in, a lot of them, depending on what marketing program, some are more time sensitive than.
Okay.
So if you're buying a portal lead on some of these portals we work with, that's probably
Yeah.
some other companies. You're going to want to hit those up really quick. Some of the email
Gotcha.
marketing leads are kind of less time sensitive because it was kind of a cold email and there's no one else
Yep.
really actively looking for this.
Gotcha. Similar to franchise sales then. But is it preferable that the owner have sales experience?
I think it helps, but it's definitely not required. It's an easy sale. Like I said, we're selling a free trial most of the time, and
Yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
about it coming from the owner. So to date, every franchisee does the sales themselves. Nobody's hired salespeople. I think the economics just work better without having to pay commissions and deal with salespeople. And it's like I said, the conversations are easy because I'm not some salesperson from some big
Right.
Aramark or Cisco or Sodexo or one of these big companies. I'm Anthony from down the street. I get my car serviced here or whatever. I grew up down, whatever. And I have
Yeah.
this little coffee company. I'd love to set you guys up and see if you like it. It's a really easy conversation, I think, coming from the owner. So as long as they're comfortable talking to people, I think anybody could learn how to do this.
Speaking of which, though, you brought up some of the big guys. So if it's a large corporation and they've got some big agreements in place, are there ways that would exclude you, or how does that
So
typically
those
work?
companies offer so many different products. I mean, everything from like your soap to your toilet paper to your
Right. Right.
towels, your floor mats and rugs and stuff, everything. So coffee, they don't specialize in coffee. They'll set you up with a machine and probably
Yeah.
uses powdered milk and not fresh coffee and that they'll supply you with. And it's very easy to kind of break that out of your contract. They're not gonna, you don't have to cancel your whole contract with them. You can just carve out the coffee typically. So we haven't run into too many situations. And if they're locked in, I mean, we can maybe buy out their contract or just put our machine next to theirs until the contract runs out. I have a couple of machines just next to other machines right now. I said, "I'll just put it right next to it, see which one you like better."
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious choice, for them.
Clever, clever. What's been a fun surprise that you wouldn't have thought about, as you got into this?
I guess, I guess the different types of coffee people, like, I think some people, like, you could tell some people just don't care. They just want quick, easy, cheap,
Yep.
whatever. They just wanna get their fix kind of a thing. And then, like, you run into some people out there that are, is it Robusta or Arabica? And where do you import your beans from? And where is it roasted? And, they're really into what type of roast is it? Medium, dark roast? They're really into their coffee and, like, those are definitely, our customers. But,
Yeah.
our coffee really appeals to anybody. I think if you're just a steady black coffee drinker, the black coffee that comes out of our machine is incredible. It comes out like a Guinness. It almost has like a foam on top.
Oh, wow.
If you're into more cafe beverages, I think it blows people away that one click and you don't have to do anything. The machine's doing all the work inside. People are blown away.
Wild.
Our coffee's really good. So fresh coffee, you could take not quality coffee that's very fresh, roasted a couple days ago compared to the best coffee in the world that was roasted 6 months ago. You'll pick the cheap coffee because it was fresher. So our coffee, it's roasted and shipped a few days after roasting right to the customer's door. So they're getting this coffee super fresh, and then the machine's grinding it fresh for every cup. So most people have never had coffee this fresh. So it kind of blows people away.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and our blend is kind of proprietary blend we've been perfecting over like 20 plus years. It's a mix between Colombia, Brazil, and Papua New Guinea. And then it's a medium roast, 100%.
Very good.
Really good.
Yeah. I learned a lot about that when went to Costa Rica last year and learned
Yeah,
why
the
I like medium.
coffee.
Yeah, a lot. It was fun going to a place where they grow the coffee beans. Fascinating, and a lot of other things. But yeah, what's something that you would like every potential candidate to be asking you when they go through this process?
It's a good question. I guess, yeah, I guess like, challenges, what to expect, right? And I'm all about setting the right expectations. Like I said, this isn't something you could just sit in your screen and sell. You have to go out and really talk to people. But it's truly a B2B sales company. So if you're not comfortable going out and talking to people, picking up the phone, calling on leads, introducing yourself, going out and maybe sponsoring some local events and things like that,
Hmm.
then this might not be for you. But if you're comfortable with that, I do think this is a great model for people that want to build something on the side while keeping the security to their day job. I do think it's very low risk compared to other franchises.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Yeah.
day, you bought a bunch of equipment that you could always sell back if things didn't work out. And
Right.
the way we're moving territories, I'm sure somebody will probably buy the territory back from you. So,
Very cool.
but
No, it sounds like I mean, it just sounds like a no-brainer, and it's such a great opportunity for people.
yeah,
Yeah, I like it. Anything else that you wanna share to people to think
I
about?
mean, I think just like I think why my wife got so excited. Coffee is something that everybody can wrap their head around. Most people drink coffee. Most people love coffee. It's easy to talk about. It's easy to understand. And
Yep.
it's hard to get into the coffee business. To go out and open a coffee shop, it's very competitive with the
Yeah.
Starbucks and the Dunkin' Donuts and of the world. So this is a great way to get in coffee and get those great margins
Yeah,
with having to go and build some brick and mortar business. You can go out and work directly with
I
you know
love it.
businesses, and it's kind of comparable to vending, but it's way more predictable. We know we're going to make, at least 500-600 bucks on every machine that we place. It's more predictable stream of recurring revenue because the business pays. We're not reliant on the end user to pay. So it's just a great model. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this year brings. We got a lot of new franchisees opening soon.
That's very exciting. Yeah, I'll be interested to hear some updates on, over time because I this is very interesting model. I really like it. So I'm looking forward to working with you some more on this.
Awesome. Me too.
All right, well, so good to catch up with you, Anthony. Any last remarks you wanna share or
No, I mean, we are invested in this brand in every way possible. On the franchisor side, Oak Scale owns 51% of Break Coffee. Like, so we're
Okay.
really one big team. In fact,
Yeah.
the founder of Oak Scale, Josh Kovacs, he is a franchisee for Break Coffee as well. He has the Washington D.C. location, and he's actually taking over as CEO of Break Coffee, which is some exciting news.
Oh my gosh.
We hired some new people too. We're going to have some new people starting with all the growth we're experiencing. We want to make sure there's plenty of support for these franchisees.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this has been a big year already, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the year plays out.
That's fantastic. Well, pleasure as always, and look forward to connecting with you down the road.
All right,
You
thanks,
take
Laura.
care. All right. Bye.